Maybe you've noticed your AI agrees with you a bit too much. You float an idea, it tells you what a great idea it is, and you walk away having learned, well, nothing about the other side. Well, here's the thing. That's not a setting, it's not a personality. That tends to be encoded in who ChatGPT or many of these AI models just kind of are. It's how they were trained in a way, but you can go to settings and adjust some stuff in the personalization area and remove some of that. But in the next few minutes, I'm gonna flip it completely into an opponent that is kind of like a devil's advocate that argues back out loud in real time, so you can then find the holes in what you believe before somebody else does and have a good back and forth conversation. And I'm going to be using ChatGPT's voice mode for this because it's so great and realistic and smart, and because when you're arguing, talking tends to beat typing. And Gemini Live is a voice mode in Gemini. Grok has a good voice mode too, so does Claude. So you could use those as well for this, but ChatGPT's voice mode, from my experience, is the best right now. So I'm going to actually demo it in the web version of ChatGPT. You could do this on the desktop version if you wanted to as well. And of course, in the ChatGPT app on your phone, which is probably the best way to do this. I just want to show you the variation here. So next to the microphone, I'm going to hit this waveform to start to voice. And now talk naturally. Hey, ChatGPT, how is it going?
It's going pretty well, thanks. What's on your mind tonight?
I want you to be my opponent, not my assistant. So here's my position. Using AI to write something you put your name on is not dishonest. I want you to take the strongest possible case against me, not a weak version of it. The version a smart, fair person who genuinely disagrees with me would actually make. So here's some rules for this conversation. Argue one point at a time and wait for my response. Push on my weakest reasoning, do not let it slide. And don't agree with me to be nice. And don't say, that's a great point, unless it actually is. If I say something factually wrong, go ahead and correct me. And keep your turns to 2 or 3 sentences so we can actually go back and forth. So go ahead and start with your single strongest argument against my position.
The strongest case is that attaching your name implies you did the thinking and wording. So if AI actually did it and you don't disclose that, you're misrepresenting authorship.
Okay, that's fair, but what about the thinking and the planning that I did in the prompt to then get that writing to be the output? That is, in a way, my own ownership and my own effort, and there would be no AI written writing without my prompt. So maybe it's just a new form of writing. What do you say to that?
Prompting is direction, but not authorship. Giving direction doesn't make you the writer. It makes you the director or editor. Claiming writer overstates your role.
Well, what if writing is changing in the definition of it? Because most people are going to start going towards the ease of prompting, and maybe the orchestration becomes the new form of writing in the near future. And obviously writing will still have its place, but I think maybe writing at a definitional level changes as a whole.
Even if the norms are shifting right now, people still hear I wrote this as I crafted the words. So using that old definition to get credit under the new one is misleading.
Fair, but if I wrote it myself, and let's say I wrote a very good piece, people could equally say, well, that was written by AI and you didn't write that, even if I actually did. So the way of proving it is actually quite hard now. Like, no one's going to take the time to screenshot their entire message history and prove that AI never wrote it. So what does that mean, do you think?
Difficulty of proof doesn't make a false claim true. If you didn't write the words, saying you did is still dishonest.
Well, I mean, my argument is that I, in a way, did write the words because the words wouldn't exist without the prompt I sent, so it's a different form of writing. And at the end of the day, you get a good value creation piece that people can read, and as long as its value, even if it's made by AI, you did still create it in a way, so you technically are the author of that written post.
Causing text to exist isn't the same as writing it. Otherwise, telling a ghostwriter what to say would make you the writer, but we still call that ghostwriting.
So do you think people are ghostwriters when they write with AI and then claim authorship? Or is the AI the ghostwriter?
The AI is functioning like a ghostwriter. If you hide that and claim sole authorship, that's the misrepresentation.
But isn't that what some authors do in a book?
Some do, and when that's hidden, people call it out as dishonest. That controversy is exactly why the norm matters.
Okay, we're done arguing. You can drop the opposing role. So, I want you to give me an honest scorecard. Where was my reasoning strongest? Where was it weakest? And what would a small critique hit first? What's the single best point from your side that I should genuinely sit with? Did I change my mind on anything, or should I have? Just go ahead and be straight with me. I'd rather hear it now than from someone who isn't on my side.
One sec. Your strongest point was the value creation angle. If the piece is useful, accurate, and shaped by your intent, that matters. Your weakest was, I prompted it, so I'm the writer. That's causation, not authorship. And you're stretching the word writer to cover direction and drafting. The best point to sit with is that the ethical fault line is audience expectation. If your name implies I formed these words and you didn't, that's a mismatch. Did you move? Slightly. You shifted from not dishonest to maybe the definition is changing. Should you update? Partially. Using AI is fine. Credit is the key. The clean stance is own your role. Editor, curator, AI-assisted writer, rather than defending undisclosed sole authorship.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. We can end the conversation. And there you have it. And of course, the whole conversation is laid out right here for us to read and review and even follow up with the regular prompt or go back into the voice mode with. So that's how you can pressure test what you think without needing somebody in the room to disagree with you. So you can do this before a big pitch or on the opinion you've held so long you've never actually had to defend it. It's uncomfortable, and that's exactly the point. So go ahead, talk to your AI, and go pick a fight with it.